Yeah, Ghetto Cafe in the building, steam rising from the stove. We switching lanes, they don't want it, they just pose for the smoke. If it's about that coffee, we got the roast and the toast. Shots fired from the French press, let it drip slow and boast. Mornings on the west, sun low, but the grind stay woke. Ghetto Cafe, steam in the breeze, cruising through dreams with a mug and some peace. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with...
What's happening? The AM Wake Up Show, Coffee with Rios, number one morning show in the whole wide world, Craig. The whole wide world. Let's get going. Let's get right to it. You already see the title of the event today is if the apocalypse was to happen right now, what would you do? What would you do if the apocalypse was to happen right now? What is your recourse? What is your first action? We're going to go through what we all think we should do, what we have actually planned. Do we have anything planned? Is there a plan? What is our survival tactics? What are our survival techniques? Have we gotten ready? Have we started to get ready? But before we get there, let's go ahead and say God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. It's always a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to have the opportunity to be here, to make an impact and be positive, be a blessing in somebody else's life. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Shout out to the Ghetto Cafe. We up in here. We got a lot going on, man. Got a lot going on. What up? What up? Happy Friday. It is Friday. I've been getting great news. I've been reading. I've been researching, learning shit. I'm just on a forward path of gathering knowledge, gathering information so I can make my best decisions when I make my decisions. No sporadic decisions, no unthought, unprovoked reactions and decisions being made. Everything is thought out. But with that being said, we got a lot going on. We're going to get to this. We're going to get to a list. We're going to write up a list together as a team of what we think are the top products, top things you need in your household if it was to be an apocalypse, if it was to be a World War III crack off here, if the second coming was happening, just if anything, blackouts, no electricity. What do you have in place? It ain't got to be the apocalypse, but you know what I'm saying. How do you survive 2 months of no power, 2 months of no water, 2 months of no groceries? Where are we at as a people, as a community, as a Ghetto Cafe? Where are we? Do you feel comfortable with that? Are you in a comfortable space if that did happen? We got so many things happening in the world, so many big events, big announcements. We got Kash Patel, FBI director, just got news of his email being hacked, possibly by Iran hackers. Hey, if that fool Kash Patel didn't already erase all his emails just off the rip, he's a bigger idiot than what I thought. He's a bigger idiot than what I thought. If his email is not scrubbed and washed already, for something like this to happen, like damn, dumb Dora. Then we got the whole world recognizing the slave trade as the biggest. Let me let it play. We got this going on.
Slave trade is a crime against humanity and the need for reparations for African nations. A resolution on the matter was introduced on Wednesday at the General Assembly in New York. It received 123 votes in favor, 3 votes against. They were Argentina, Israel, and the United States, while 52 countries, mostly European, including the UK, Portugal, and Spain, all abstained. This is when the vote actually took place.
Resolution A/80/L48 entitled Declaration of the Trafficking of Enslaved Africans and Racialized Chattel Enslavement of Africans as the gravest crime against humanity. Will all delegations confirm that their votes are accurately reflected on the screen?
Israel, Argentina, United States against it.
Please lock the machine.
Three against, 52 abstain.
No.
The result of the vote.
How are they even? We'll talk about it. We'll get your thoughts.
The result of the vote is as follows. In favor, 123. Against, 3. Abstentions,
USA, Israel,
52.
Argentina.
Therefore, draft resolution A/80/L48 is adopted.
Folks, as we said, the 3 countries that actually voted against this resolution were the United States, Argentina, and Israel. The countries that actually abstained from the vote: Albania, Andorra, Armenia, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Cambodia, Canada, Croatia, Cyprus,
Abstained.
Czechia, Denmark, Estonia,
Japan,
Fiji, Finland, France, Georgia, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Monaco, Montenegro.
you see them: Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Oman, Paraguay, Poland, Portugal, Romania, I don't even know what that is. San Marino, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Ukraine, United Kingdom. Ain't that some shit? Ain't no surprise Argentina's in there, Vic Damone. Ain't no surprise. We just gave them $40 billion also. Trump just gave them $40 billion off top. $40 billion. You elect this president, $40 billion for y'all. We know what Argentina is. We know what happened in Argentina. We know all about it. But the ones who abstained as well, the ones that abstained from voting, like, I'm stay out of this. It's just a recognition. I'm pretty sure they would have voted for. Why is Argentina super light skinned? You know, I'm sure they would have voted for recognizing the Holocaust and what happened to those people. They would have recognized it. The ones who abstained and are against, they would have recognized it like this. But it's not like the slave trade is something that didn't exist, like it's some fictional tale. It's factual. And it's still at this day and age to be like, nah, but no big deal. No biggie. No big deal. They're just black. They're just Africans. Fuck them. it should just wake you up a little bit to let you know who you're supporting, where your money is going. Damn.
The Netherlands, New Zealand, Northern 123.
Often come incrementally. Progress is made in little steps. It is the forward motion towards something better, and changes often come incrementally. Today marks the International Day of Remembrance of the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. It is a day on which we honor the memory of the approximately 13 million African men, women, and children who were enslaved over the course of several centuries. We remember them through articles,
Ooh-wee.
oral histories, through broadcast programs, books, music, visits to museums, monuments, and memorials such as...
What up, Nick Bags? I see you.
Located right here at the Visitors Plaza of the United Nations headquarters. Through these activities, we do more than remember. We document and educate. We gain greater perspective. We find the delicate balance of learning from history so that we do not repeat it while leaving our pain behind. In doing so, we begin to heal individually within.
The thing to me is what brings in the question is just recognition. It's just recognition. But once you recognize something as existed, then you got to do something about it. If I recognize that I did an atrocity to you, an apology is not enough. Or maybe an apology is now needed. Now we need an apology. Or now something needs to be done. Recognition means there needs to, usually points to action needed behind it. There needs to be an action behind it. So if they recognize it, they like, fuck, we recognize this shit as something, then we got to do something after it. It's not just recognition. Recognition comes right before the action. They don't want that action. They don't want to have to apologize, maybe. They don't want to have to do any kind of reparations. They don't want to have to do any of that kind of shit, is what I'm seeing, how I'm looking at it. Why would you not recognize it? Because it's not about recognizing it. It's about what happens after the recognition.
In our immediate communities and also within the global community. This day of remembrance did not happen by accident. In 2006, our global community gathered here, just as we have done today, and resolved to designate the 25th of March of the following year a day of remembrance. It marked significant progress. Then the following year, in 2007, we decided to make the event an annual one so that the 25th March of every year would be the International Day of Remembrance of the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. That marked an additional step in our forward motion. Not
to take anything away from the sub-Saharan slave trade.
For teachers to be here today, 2 decades later, addressing the General Assembly on behalf of the African Group regarding the draft resolution entitled Declaration of the Trafficking of Enslaved Africans and Racialized Chattel Enslavement of Africans as the Gravest Crime Against Humanity.
The gravest. Not only recognition, the gravest. Who disagrees with that? Who agrees with it? In here. Should I start a debate in the chat? No, I'm not about to do that.
In September last year, at the 80th session of the General Assembly, I stood in this exact place and served notice that Ghana will move a motion to declare the transatlantic slave trade the gravest crime against humanity. This current draft resolution is a result of months of consultation and consensus building by continental bodies, nations, experts, scholars, and jurists, with the sole aim of achieving a united front and grounding the final outcome in truth, compassion, and moral conscience, remembrance, education, and dialogue.
Normalizing erasure of Black history. Woo, 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 woo.
So today we come together in solemn solidarity to affirm truth and pursue a route to healing and reparative justice. The adoption of this resolution serves as a safeguard against forgetting. It also challenges the enduring scars of slavery. Madam President, let me conclude with two significant quotes by two great leaders of history, one of them white and one of them black. The former President of the United States of America, Theodore Roosevelt, said, and I quote, "With a great moral issue involved, neutrality does not serve righteousness. For to be neutral between right and wrong is to serve wrong." Again, civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King also reminds us, and I quote, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." We've traveled this long road, each step guided by a desire to be better and to do better. Each step bringing us closer to the kind of world we would want to leave for our children. And so delegates, on this beautiful day in March, we're called to stand on the right side of history.
Just to stand on the right side.
Be recorded.
Just to stand on it.
That when history beckoned, we did what was right for the memory of the millions who suffered the indignity of the slave trade and those who continue to suffer racial discrimination. Let our vote on this resolution restore their dignity and humanity.
Now, yesterday, Ghana's president did not hold back criticizing the United States and Donald Trump for their attack on Black history, Black authors, and Black books.
Here in the United States, Black history courses are being removed from school curricula. Schools are being mandated to stop teaching students about the truth of slavery, segregation, and racism in American history courses. Books about those topics are being banned in schools and public libraries. Museums, art centers, and other institutions whose budgets rely in any way on public funds are being prohibited from scheduling exhibitions and programs or from displaying materials promoting racial awareness or Black history. Much like the law that was put in place to regulate the punishment of the enslaved in Barbados, these policies are becoming a template for other governments as well as some private institutions. At the very least, they are slowly normalizing the erasure. They are slowly normalizing erasure.
Now, folks, before today's vote by the United Nations, Ghana's president led a solemn wreath-laying ceremony at the African Burial Ground National Monument in New York City, paying tribute to the nearly 20,000 Africans who were enslaved and buried there. The poignant gesture marked Ghana's commemoration of the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade. It was part of a broader push for reparatory justice. New York City President Zoran Mamdani, he spoke at that ceremony as well.
First, thank you to the President of the Republic of Ghana John Dramani Mahama, for hosting today's wreath laying. Ghana is a nation that holds deep meaning for me. My father gave me the middle name Kwame after Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, a leader who fought for freedom. And that longing of freedom unites all of humanity across geography and history. It is that longing for freedom and the sacrifices made by so many to win it that we are here today to commemorate. And I want to acknowledge a number of leaders that are also here with us. It was a pleasure to be preceded by Reverend Al Sharpton, as well as members of the President's team and representatives from across the region, including the Caribbean. I also am here with a number of leaders from our administration. We have our Commissioner, Afia Atta-Mensah, who is here with us. Commissioner Ana Maria Archia from the Office of International Affairs. We have our Public Advocate, Jumani Williams, who is here with us, as well as State Senator James Sanders, Assemblymember Al Taylor, so many other leaders, including our outgoing Commissioner as well. And we are here in many ways because nearly 400 years ago, the first enslaved people arrived at the port of New York. 22 souls, likely from Angola, were originally aboard a Portuguese ship bound for sugar plantations in Cartagena before the Dutch intercepted and enslaved them once more, this time under the Dutch West India Company. And so began a shameful history of slavery here in our city, one that is just as much a part of our story as the Revolutionary War battles that were fought in Brooklyn or the bridges and skyscrapers that defied any precedent. According to New Amsterdam's 1665 tax list, 12% of the residents of this city at the time were slaveholders. By the mid-1700s, New York City was home to the most enslaved people outside of the South, until the Act for the Gradual Abolition of Slavery in 1799. Even then, freedom was partial and often cruelly withheld. None of the enslaved New Yorkers who helped to build Wall Street ever benefited from the enormous wealth that it created. And the dignity and security granted to so many of our earliest settlers was denied to those of African descent, even those fortunate enough to be deemed free. Land deeds once granted were rescinded, the franchise of voting so often out of reach. Our city and its incredible spirit, wealth, and global significance is inextricably intertwined with the horrific history of the transatlantic slave trade. One need look no further for proof than the very ground upon which we stand today, which was at one time the largest cemetery of Black New Yorkers, many of whom were enslaved. It was only when construction began on a 34-story federal building on this site in 1991 that our city paused to reckon with what was here. I am grateful to the community members, historians, archaeologists, all those who helped to reveal what lay beneath our streets, to draw attention to the history of our city. And as was said earlier, the tension that also lies at the heart of it. That history must never be forgotten. And when we tell it, let us tell it in its totality. For we know the history of Black New Yorkers is not just one of oppression. It is one of resistance, of organizing, of fighting for freedom, among so much else. Let us tell the stories of Black New Yorkers who fought in the slave revolt of 1712, demanding dignity only 1 year after the first slave market in New York City was erected at the foot of Wall Street. Let us tell the story of the community of Weeksville, founded in 1838, just 11 years after New York State outlawed slavery, and how it would grow into a self-sustaining, safe haven for escaped and freed slaves with its own schools, churches, and newspapers. And let us tell the story of the many who continue to resist the long shadow of slavery and discrimination. From the thousands of men, women, and children who participated in the silent march on Fifth Avenue in 1917, to the activists and archivists who have continued to honor the legacies of those whose names would otherwise be lost to time. Today, as we gather to remember the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade, let us recommit to the work of building a New York City where every New Yorker can live a life of dignity and freedom that so many other New Yorkers were so cruelly denied, that so many sacrificed so much to obtain. And in a city that is proud to celebrate the intertwined nature of Black history and New York City history, thus also ensure that this is a city where the writing of Black history can continue in the weeks and months and years to come. May we honor the memory of those that we have lost as we build a New York City worthy of its...
My bad, y'all. My bad. I don't even know what happened.
All right, folks, we have Jahan LeBlanc back.
So, my bad. That was my father-in-law. I had to chop it up with him real quick. See what's going on. I had some things to take care of, a little conversation. Nothing but a little conversation. We got so many things going on. There's so many things going on. So many good things going on. But, so we got 8%. I'm going to end the poll. Boom. Let's end the poll. End the vote. 12% against, 92% for. 12 votes. We had it. So we missed nothing. So Ohio says, this is why I've been buying black books all year. Get them before they gone. Right. So you guys saying Mondani sounds like gaslighting, all bullshit. He using it for propaganda. And they're propping up Mamdani to be the diaper dandy of the ball. Diaper dandy of the ball. The next big thing. Nothing happened. You missed nothing. I'm glad I missed nothing. Glad about that. But to me, it's all about recognition. Just how I told y'all the thing about consent. They're giving these children consent to do things with them, to their bodies and surgeries and shit, which is really not for the children. It's not for their bodies. It's for these PDFs. They want to give kids the consent, the ability to give consent to these older men, older people, or mature adults. That's all it is. But the recognition, finally, shit is being used. The tools are being used for what I think is to benefit some people. Let's get them to recognize it. Then we'll do the work behind the recognition to get shit for it. He's a part of the same club that everyone hates, but shout out to being gullible. So what club is that he is a part of? Mondani, the club, the elite club, the club of the elite, political club. They all in the same bed. He was the only one who said he wouldn't go, like, he could be gaslighting there. He could be lying there. He was the only one who said he wasn't going to go visit Israel. He's like, what do I have to do? What does it have to do with the mayor of New York to go to Israel? But my job is here in New York. I serve the people of New York. That's one thing I did like that he stood up against all those little bootlickers. Bootlickers. That's the better word that I can use. Bootlickers. He stood up against all those bootlickers who were like, my first thing I'm going to do is go to Israel. I'm going to go to Israel. I'm going to pay homage. Why? This is where you serve. We voted for you here. Leon, thank you, brother. It's the Ghetto Cafe, man. We're just trying to do the shit that nobody else is doing. We're going to talk about the stuff that nobody else is talking about, the stuff that they're blocking. We're going to talk I feel like I'm in a position in life where I don't have to worry about getting blocked or demonetized or not shown to the world, because I think as long as we get to hear it, as long as my community gets to hear it, it's worth it. I don't have to shuck and jive. I don't have to shuck and jive and do all this extra out shit so I can be the guy. I don't need to be the guy. I need us to be the people. That's it. JB, you've been coming through. JB, you've been coming through. Cali Bags, you've been coming through. Ohio Ties been coming through. Greedy coming through. LDB coming through. We in here, man. We ain't got time to play around and play these games with these people, man. I'm not tiptoeing. I don't have anybody in my ear telling me what to say or what I can't say or don't offend this group, don't offend that group. If I offend a group and I'm on the side of the right, they offended. That's it. That's their problem. If I feel like I'm doing the right thing, I don't have any malicious intent. I'm talking for the people that don't have a voice. I'm talking for us. Yeah, I'd much rather look back and be like, I did the right thing. I was talking about the right stuff, not just letting shit go over our heads. As that's happening, this fool Trump has put together the Board of Peace. The Board of Peace, where you got to get a $1 billion entry fee. He's on the board forever. He's the head of the board, gets to make decisions, all this shit. And they have a military army already of 20,000 people. 20,000 people. Military police force that are already signed up for the Board of Peace. What are they going to do with all that money that they're taking and putting into Trump's Bitcoin, Trump's crypto? They're taking all that money. They took $10 billion from us. Took $10 billion from the U.S. taxpayers, put it into his Board of Peace, taking it, and it's a public international group, so can't govern them. Can't govern them. What is he going to use that money for? Oh, shit. Right. Real estate. Oh, Gaza. They want to rebuild Gaza. They want to do the greater. This man will no longer be the president, but he will have his Board of Peace. Put this up. $1 billion contribution for permanent membership. It acts as a voluntary cooperation platform, not a traditional military alliance, though. It's expected to deploy an international security force. The ISF, the Board of Peace that he's getting people to join for lifetime memberships of $1 billion. You pay $1 billion. You have a lifetime membership and access to international security force. Permanent membership requires $1 billion contribution, often directed towards Gaza relief package. Is that going to the Palestinians? Over 25 countries have joined, including Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Egypt, Hungary, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Pakistan, and various nations from Asia, Latin America, and Eastern Europe. Western participation, mostly Western allies, including France, Germany, the UK, and Italy, have declined to join over concerns it may replace the UN. Primary goal includes the reconstruction of Gaza, the disarmament of Hamas, and managing a ceasefire. The board includes U.S. political appointees and international leaders. Marco Rubio is one. It has been described as a way to circumvent traditional international bodies, focusing on voluntary cooperation rather than formal military pacts. Leverage, freedom to act as you want. Freedom, do as thou wilt. Aleister Crowley type shit. Do as thou will. Requires a $1 billion investment, which is largely focused on funding the rebuilding of Gaza. And the money that they're putting in there, you would think I'm lying, is being transferred over into Trump's cryptocurrency. No wiring, no bank wiring. Security force. Indonesia has considered deploying troops as part of a larger security initiative, pointing to a potential security role for members. Countries like Vietnam have reported potential economic benefits, such as the renegotiation of trade tariffs as part of their participation. Let me see what's the latest. Hold on. Search tools.
Must be at least to the levels agreed in the ceasefire. The current flow is not adequate. The laying down of arms by militant groups would represent a decisive break from cycles of violence that have defined life in Gaza for decades. It would create the conditions for a unified and accountable Palestinian security structure, restore a single transitional authority, and allow for Gaza and the West Bank to be reunited under.
I'm pretty sure that Gaza, the Palestinians or whatever, are going to end up not looking like the original Palestinians. The original Gaza, people of Gaza, is going to end up being light-skinned people in Gaza and Palestine. They're going to replace the Palestinians. People of Eastern European descent are going to replace the Palestinians. Like, yeah, Gaza and Israel, Palestine, or Israel and Gaza, there's a united front of light-skinned folk. Eastern European. Wait, so Ohio ties. Let me get this straight. You think that those didn't accomplish anything? You don't think that they didn't have any ulterior motives behind the scenes of what they were doing in the government with the access with Elon? Because they said that they were going to be a Department of Government Efficiency. That was the front of what it was. They didn't accomplish what they told us that they were going to do, but they definitely did exactly what they wanted to do. This is a free of judgment position forever. This board of peace is a forever position. So you think the richest man in the world, one of the richest men in the world, gaining access, unadulterated access to the government's information and firing 600,000 black women accomplished nothing? You don't think they did that on purpose? Halting grants, halting funding to anything that represented black, color, gender. That's an accomplishment for them. Maybe it's not a positive for us, but the negatives that it caused is a positive for them. Elon how much money did he gain? $250 million? $250 million? Grok was on the heels of those. Grok was going to get the Federal Reserve. What up, Mel? Every move they make, exactly. Every move they make is not by chance or by accident, and that accomplished nothing. Yes, it accomplished a lot of shit in their favor. Maybe not in our favor. That's on paper that they lied about. Of course not.
Under one reformed Palestinian national authority. For the people of Gaza, the implications are profound. Israeli military withdrawal and reconstructions at scale. It would open the door to sustained international investment, freedom of movement, and the rebuilding of institutions capable of delivering governance, justice, and opportunity for all. I say this directly to those in Israel and elsewhere who argue that military control is the only option. The evidence of the last 20 years. What I can tell the Council is this: the framework exists. It has been endorsed by all mediators, it has been presented to the parties, and the engagement on it is very serious.
I'm with you, Ohio. I think on paper, it didn't accomplish what they said that they were going to do. Oh, we're going to save trillions. Yeah, that was how they got the backing of the people. The lies is how they got the backing of the people to be like, oh yeah, it's okay for Elon to be in there. Yeah, it's okay for Elon to have a position. He's going to get rid of all, remember what Doge first started on? Doge got all the MAGA white fools, some black people that are so anti-trans. They gave that nigga full access because he started telling them, oh, this funding and shit is going to transgender goals and movement in these other countries. Oh, okay, we do need those. He did that shit on the heels of they're funding transgender in Brazil. It's operations. So we say, give him full access. Yeah, you know what? They're doing the right thing. They're doing the right thing. That's exactly what we need. Get rid of the FA, what is the airline? The airline shit. They started firing all those fucking airline shits. Look at the airlines. Look at what's happened to the airlines. Look at what's going on. They accomplished exactly what they wanted. So now that we're talking about it, now that we're here talking about the crazy shit that's going on, you guys could say the one new world order, the one world order, the one government, world peace, whatever is going to be under. Or whatever apocalypse or whatever thing that happens, whatever, say California gets hit with this, New York gets hit with this, Florida gets hit with this or whatever. And we have to go into a bunker down type situation. A bunker down type situation. Are we prepared? Are you guys prepared? And what is that list? What does that list look like of preparation? Oh, no. What do Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. This nigga don't sound so crazy no more. Dang it. My bad, y'all. Hold on. I'm trying to pull this up. Hold on, you guys. My bad. I'm trying to.
What do you think Trump is about to reveal, and why is he about to reveal it?
Well, this is the big problem. There's a big debate there trying to, how do you disclose this? Now, I have published a sample speech that we've given to the president. It's in that briefing document you showed a moment ago. And that would be a positive event moving humanity forward. If it is revealed the way some recent documentaries, like there was one that came out, Age of Disclosure, and it was all done by operatives of this cabal, of this organization. And that film always presented the subject as a threat to the national security. But they didn't say the threat was coming from inside the house. The threat's coming from these covert illegal programs, not from the non-human extraterrestrial intelligences. So this is how easily the public can be gaslit. The most senior guy at the CIA for 45 years on this, I know personally. And he said that rat pack that have surrounded themselves into the media, and that you'll see on 60 Minutes, you'll see on Fox News, you'll see them, comporting themselves sometimes with Don Jr., hanging out. Those folks are giving disinformation, not just misinformation. What we're trying to do through our military team and direct whistleblowers who've handled the craft, who've been at sites where we've shot them down, is to get the president and his people the truth and not the fictional narrative. But we don't know at this point, I'll be honest with you, how this is going to play out. My biggest worry by far is that the president gets brainwashed in the wrong direction and puts this out as a threat. Or when he handed this off to Hegseth, Hegseth starts looking into this, and through official channels, he comes up, it's a dry well. He hits nothing. And so we have to be sure that doesn't happen. This is why I wanted to go on your show. And I have one of his Hegseth's friends is on our team. But I think the public needs to know this is not a done deal in terms of how it comes out. If it comes out the wrong way, I have stated very directly at Mar-a-Lago and elsewhere that it will be 1,000 times worse than the botching of the COVID pandemic and all the mistakes that were made then. So this will be 1,000 times worse. Now, if it's handled well, it would be one of the more unifying events in human history. We could announce a real golden age of technology and energy. Eventually, 15, 20 years from now, we could be off oil, off nuclear, off transmission lines.
And let's be clear, you said this 35 years ago, but it is confirmed everywhere. We do 10 hours on this. They have all this basically limited energy. They have all these technologies that are clean. It's being suppressed. It's disruptive. No, it's disruptive. It's suppressing it. It will free humanity to do everything, and it's time to do it. What do you think Trump is about to reveal, and why is he about to reveal it?
Well, this is the big problem. There's a big debate there trying to, how do you disclose this? Now, I have published a sample speech that we've given to the president. It's in that briefing document you showed a moment ago. And that would be a positive event moving humanity forward. If it is revealed the way some recent documentaries.
What are they talking about? If they reveal what? This is almost like Paradise. This is almost like the show Paradise, where the doctor is going to the where she's at now, and she goes and meets Alex. Free of energy, free of nuclear, free of this technology, a technology boom that will create humanity, a unity amongst humanity. Jumpy! Shout out, Jumpy. Oh my God, dude. This fool is so funny. Oh man, let me read this. Oh man. Let me read your we got a super chat in from Jumby. What if I told you a German dude with the mustache found out about this in the 1940s and tried to counter and stop them, and the US and the crown got him out of there and rewrote history as heroes? So the whole World War II was just a savior act from Churchill. Was it Churchill? It was Churchill and us. This fool has a cold documentary out right now. Let me see. Hold on. This fool DJ Vlad had this fool on. This motherfucker get everybody. God dog. That was his documentary, Unacknowledged, but he has another one.
I get so angry every.
How do you keep something secret?
Hold on, we'll get to the other one. It was one. Hold on. It's in 2025. He just released one, right? Asymmetric disclosure. Let's see. Damn, where's the volume?
You're either on the side of the law or you're not.
The only way you're going to get to it is somebody at that executive level that says enough is enough, cut the money off, bring these people in, let's go.
This is not to be talked about any further. And if you do, something can happen.
All we need is one to be accurate. And this whole concept of UFO crash retrieval non-existing completely falls apart.
Everybody wants to be in there. Can you give any kind of sneak peek of what that's like?
That organization has had the ability since the 60s to hit a button and simulate an alien attack on the planet using these technologies.
Serious questions tonight amid a growing number of drone sightings.
How do you set up a believable false flag and operations that looks like it's alien when it isn't?
They've been talking about this for a minute too.
So when it happens,
this is really the motion right now.
They can say, oh, we knew this was going to happen.
Which is potentially the most dangerous, where they're talking about quote unquote catastrophic disclosure.
They put it into secrecy, they deny, and then they shut the people up.
And the president doesn't know about. That is an existential threat to humanity.
Hey, I don't put nothing just because Billy Carson's involved or he's being interviewed. I'm not putting no bullshit on nothing. They've been talking about this shit forever. There was a whistleblower who said, hey man, they're going to false flag an alien invasion. They're going to false flag an alien invasion. Yeah, you could call in if you want to call in. There's going to be an alien invasion false flag. Paradise has me fucked up, the show Paradise. Because once they start revealing whatever technology this shit is, they're talking about it's going to bring humanity together, such and such, world peace, whatever the fuck this shit is. Who is Alex in Paradise? Technology? She AI? What is it? This dude has all kind of whistleblowers that were involved in the military, that were involved with special forces, talking about all kind of shit. We know we don't know. We know we don't know the shit that they got access to. We know. Bill Cooper is talking about this shit. Is it that far way out? Is it that far out? No, it's not. You think they ain't building bunkers? They just found out that Epstein involved in building bunkers and off-planet migration. The Lifeboat Foundation. Shit. This is crazy. Lifeboat Foundation is a nonprofit, non-governmental organization dedicated to encouraging scientific advancements while helping humanity survive existential risk and possible misuse of increasingly powerful technologies, including genetic engineering, nanotechnology, and robotics AI as we move towards. You would think this shit is stupid, right? You would be like, oh, these motherfuckers is talking about some weirdo shit. Let's see what this is. Watch this. Dang it, where did I just... Dang.
Ranch, and Epstein's having somebody do work on different things all over the house. And then they gave him an update. Right here, good evening, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, what's interesting to me is how many floors beneath there are at Zorro Ranch. One of the Q drops says how many levels, inferring Little St. James, because the whole drop is about Little St. James, or it looks like it is. But this
Trump speaking right now.
New Mexico Zorro Ranch,
6 floors.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth floor. Then there's a sub cellar. There's elevators. I'm not totally sure.
And they stopped investigating that ranch. Why?
On Little St. James.
Somebody said Trump is speaking right now.
Piece of evidence that is not widely taught. From on the constructing underground bunker, a company dedicated to constructing underground bunkers. So Lifeboat is a non-profit think tank. It seems that they are still very active. They post like 10 new articles a day. However, when I called the phone numbers associated on their website, they linked me to random companies that have nothing to do with Lifeboat.
No, I'm sorry. You're reaching Grizzly Industrial?
Did this used to be the phone number for the Lifeboat Foundation? I also found it a little weird that on their page for the Life Shield bunkers, they give examples of what you can contribute. Firearms and training, labor to build a bunker, and then another one here is youth and good genes. It says, let us know if you wish to participate in a local Life Shield bunker. We'll contact you if and when we find a cluster of interested people in your area. The president of Lifeboat is Eric Klein. His bio page says he's a cryonicist, and he served a stint as a member of the Alcor Investment Advisory Board. So what is Alcor? Alcor is a company dedicated to cryogenics. And what did we see in the mainstream media but stories about Jeffrey Epstein wanting to keep his head frozen and penis? I'm thinking Eric Klein here might have been the one who inspired that idea. According to Wikipedia, Lifeboat is secretive about what projects they undertake, but they certainly have the
God damn, y'all. God damn. The rabbit hole.
So that money has to be doing something. But Lifeboat does not publicly disclose what it does with its funding, which is a lot. I want to give Lifeboat, though, the benefit of the doubt, because the founder claims to be libertarian, and they seem to back free speech along with Julian Assange. But it's disconcerting they aren't more transparent. People on Quora have said Lifeboat is just a pretentious social club for scientists and businessmen, which I find to be pretty likely. However, it's possible that certain elements of this organization assisted Epstein in bunker construction, since they have the resources, share the same transhumanism beliefs, and keep their projects secret. Keep in mind, this organization is huge, with thousands of diverse members split into different groups. This gives me the impression that most members are innocent, but some are shady. In 2010, Fox reported 2 Russian spies arrested in the US were board members at Lifeboat. So to summarize, I don't think Lifeboat as a whole supported Jeffrey Epstein, but he probably made some valuable connections there. It just ties into the point of this video that Jeffrey Epstein most likely has an underground facility built somewhere. I say this because of the doors that lead underground on Little St. James. I mean, you can see them scattered all over the island. But the most interesting piece of evidence that is not widely talked about are the metal rings sticking out around Epstein's temple. Look at these metal rings going around the base of Epstein's temple. They're strategically placed around the base, and they closely resemble the metal rings used in concrete construction of underground facilities. So what information do we know? We know that Jeffrey Epstein had a secret corridor constructed at his Manhattan mansion. He also has underground shafts leading to places underground on Little St. James. We know that he's interested in underground bunkers due to his affiliations with the Lifeboat Foundation. And then we see these metal rings stick out of the ground around the base of his temple, which is located on top of a hill. How am I not supposed to come to the rational conclusion that it's quite possible there's an underground facility underneath the temple? Another thing I wanted to bring up is Naomi Campbell. I don't trust her. Virginia Roberts, the most vocal victim of Jeffrey Epstein, has said that Naomi Campbell was incredibly rude to her. She seemed to hate her very existence. Not only that, but a few years back, Naomi Campbell got caught lying when she went over to Liberia to see the horrible dictator president over there, and that guy gifted her a bunch of blood diamonds. Naomi Campbell lied to people when they asked her if she ever received those blood diamonds. She did it on national television, lied to everybody.
Naomi Campbell's a piece of shit.
I'm telling you. Not only that, Not only is she a liar, is she rude to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, yet acts like she's a fucking savior for Me Too? Not only that, but she just has a weird obsession with the all-seeing eye. Right here in this interview on Naomi Campbell's YouTube channel, she is asked about her affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, where she says she had no idea what Epstein was up to. Here she's wearing the all-seeing eye on her necklace. Then here she's wearing a Nazar necklace, which is the
Oh shit, it's not hooked up. Hold on, Alex.
Then here we see she has a mansion dedicated to the Eye of Horus with a creepy, like reptile-like slit in the middle. Now the all-seeing eye is a very ancient symbol, but it's also really popular in Freemasonry. Let's go to the all-seeing eye Wikipedia page. Under Freemasonry, the eye first appeared as part of the standard iconography of the Freemasons.
There we go.
Yep.
Hold on 1 second.
Now, originally, the all-seeing eye was symbolic of a higher spiritual power of God, a watchful caretaker of humanity, or an...
I think we all know about the all-seeing eye. But let's go ahead, man. We got a caller on the line. We got Alex DeLarge on the phone. What's happening, Alex, man?
Chilling. What's up, Rios? What's up, chat?
What's going on with you, man?
Nothing, man. I checked in a little late. You're talking about the bunkers and the ranch and the wealthy and the corrupt and the greed and the racist and the devilish, satanic, right?
Everything.
So,
everything. The whole Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole box, the Pandora's box. Everything.
Perverted, evil, yeah. But the bunker thing popped out at me. We already know all that part. Me and you go back, right? So we already know that part. All right. So when just right now that you mentioned bunker, you know that there's a bunker. Remember the ballroom that Trump's trying to build, and the ballroom and the 200 million and the 300 million, 400 million.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a bunker. Underneath the ballroom. Not just that. Most of his administration is living on an army base, from what I know.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like, and all of this shit that we're hearing, all this shit that we're finding out, we're not finding out through them. We're finding out through reports of people that were there, of people that spoke, whistleblowers. You know what I mean? Like, we're not even finding out none of this by them telling us.
No. This is all gathered information from respectful, just people doing their due diligence. Like, where are they? What's going on? What's happening here? And they got rid of all the journalists from the Pentagon.
Whatever they.
The Pentagon. They got rid of all the journalists from the Pentagon, and they replaced them with their own people.
They got rid of everybody. They got rid of everybody that holds people accountable. All the auditors, all that. They got rid of all that. They got rid of all the programs that weren't for white people. They got rid of all the programs that weren't for, just it's scary, dude. It's like the survival of the fittest, and we have millions, and you have one more paycheck next week. You know what I mean?
We're living from paycheck to paycheck while we're playing with this money, and we're playing with. And that's what I thought. I was thinking about, like, these people they don't have the same worries as us. And I'm not even talking about the uber rich. I'm not even talking about the uber elite. I'm just talking about the top millionaires, top tier millionaires, right? Like, they don't worry about the same shit that we worry about. So their free state of mind is about the edge of the world and what can I do? How can I push the envelope here? What can I do to do more? They're on a whole different wavelength of what they want to do, what they can think about. We can't even waste time thinking about certain shit because we're worried about surviving.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be trillion, billion. Just close friends of ours that are just well off, or people that are well off, or bosses. Like, this is just the culture, the American culture of me, my, more. You know what I mean? Like, and backstabbing anyone. It doesn't matter. They can be family. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, as long as they have to be in your club.
Yeah.
Your club, my club. This is my club. It's not about family anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's none of that. All that's out the window. It's my people, my girl, me. My kids, my me. It's all about me. But what people don't understand is, the better we all do, the better you will do. Crime comes from the inequality of, the population. When it comes to people are living, 60% of the people living paycheck to paycheck, and they're over here telling us, hey, it's, small pain for a long gain. Like there's people that don't have any type of pain they can take anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just saw a video of a little, and everything is all wrapped up in control, race and the military and law enforcement. I just saw a video. Some kid was drawing. He was like painting on a lampshade. Some black kid, maybe like 15, just doing some innocent stuff. Somebody pulled up to him and was like, hey, let me get a 3.5. And he's all, I don't sell weed, dude.
Yeah, like what the hell are you talking
about?
about?
You know what I mean? It's that type of stuff. It's that type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's targeting. It's purposely targeting. You know what I mean? Communities that they make money off of, they exploit, and they also target. Like, dude, all this is political violence. What's happening right now is political violence, and they use that. I've been, when it comes to podcasts, when it comes to call-in stuff, I used to listen to Howard Stern. I'm talking about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've heard these names before. Weinstein, Epstein. Like, I've heard these, Trump. I've been hearing these scammers, these perverts for 25 years. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I've been seeing what back then, the media, the Super Bowl, when Janet Jackson whipped her titty out.
Yeah.
It wasn't that many people that complained about it, but it was all like the Christian, crazy, like they were the ones that complained. All this outrage culture that they blame, all this woke, all this Karen stuff that they blame, like, Democrats or like weaker people for, it's what they do. It's what they do. They fucking throw rocks and hide their hands. You know what I mean? Like, they do that shit constantly. Remember that video when that one lady got socked in the face at the PTA meeting?
The white lady?
That's what
the
needs
white
to
lady?
happen more. Yeah. Yes. That was one of the original Karens. But if that needs to happen more, you know what I mean? This goes down to from the top to the bottom. Unchecked. You've been saying it, unchecked aggression. This one happens when you get unchecked racism, unchecked aggression, unchecked corruptness. This is what's going to keep happening.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No.
And I tell people, teenagers, no matter what color they are, picture them as like a scratch, a cut. You know what I mean? You have one black cut, one white cut, one brown cut. Depending on what cut you keep picking at, it's going to take longer to heal. And actually, it might get worse. It might get infected. So it's like the society purposely picks at the brown kids, the poor kids, the kids they could just put in jail and they don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they constantly just pick at them, use their community, and now use their community turned against their own people. Just because they think that they goes back to the me, my. Like, these people don't understand that it's us. They don't give a fuck about you at all.
No, I 100% agree.
Look, when everybody's going through it, who's throwing the can drives, who's throwing the food drives, who's throwing the little local spots? It ain't these fucking billionaires, millionaires, and trillionaires. It's fucking small groups. Even if they're a little corrupt too, okay, fine. They always, well, they do it. Man, look, I've seen people handing out food. You could just go, hey, on Saturday we're just gonna be handing out food to anybody who comes. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They were doing that at over here at what's his name? The basketball player right here on La Brea and Crenshaw. He has a little community, blah, blah, blah. And dude, they were just like, I'm like, all right, I'll be there. I'll help out. You know what I mean?
Off of, say it again, was off what streets?
La Brea and Jefferson.
Was it Baron Davis? Yeah, BD. Baron Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a spot right here. I didn't even know. Literally, I was outside helping out, like volunteering, fucking, hey, come inside. I'm talking about anybody would pass by.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah, Baron Davis is huge in the community, like giving back to the community, especially out of his compound right there, like just podcasting, music, videos. Yeah, right there. Baron Davis, yeah.
Man, like that's what I see. You know what I mean? I don't see these people don't give a. The people that got the most tax benefits and what's benefiting now are the people that are making $500,000 a year or more. None of us are doing that.
And we have to pay 12% in Social Security, and they only have to pay 2%.
It's not immigrants, man. It's not immigrants. Right now, the prices of houses are super high. I don't see immigrants moving in. I see rich people moving in. I seen Chinese companies buying these houses. 30% of the houses in America are owned by non-occupants. So that means like it's not, and it's like 1.2% owned by immigrants.
Yeah.
Like 30% are owned by occupants, are owned by landlords. 1% are owned by immigrants. I try to look up some type of, when it comes to immigrants, and it comes to, when they're weaponizing or they're demonizing these certain people, I'll look it up. They're so small, you can't even find them. Like they were saying, what was it? Trinidad TDA gang is the scariest. The Venezuelans are doing all this shit. Dude, if you look, you can literally Google it. What are the top gangs in America? They're 10th. They're 10th. After the Bloods, after the Crips, after the Sureños, after the brrrr.
Yeah.
It's like, look up, even white supremacists are above them. Like, what are we doing? Those are the ones that were, Venezuela and Colorado, and they're just, man, it's crazy, man. It's
no, I get you. I'm listening
if you're
too.
Brown, if you're brown or black, you can't come up. If you're white, they make a fucking movie out of you, The Godfather. You know what I mean? Like, that's an immigrant story. The Godfather is an immigrant story about people coming over here and making it, how they're going to make it through crime, through politics, through both, through everything. You know what I mean? And they were immigrants, Italians, and now they just slowly integrated into the whole fucking, now they're part of the police, they're part of the union, they're part of they're politicians. See, that's fine if they're white. That's cool. They showed you. They brought in those white Afrikaners that were getting apartheid, and even their own government said nothing was wrong.
Yeah, the 40 to 50.
Even those
yeah,
motherfuckers own 90%. Even those, 10% of the white people own 90% of Africa.
Right.
Like, and they're the ones that are getting prosecuted. All right, well, that's cool. We need to start doing that shit here, because the ones that are really getting over on us are the corporations that work with the politicians, that work with the jails, that work with. It's like, What are they doing? Why are you building huge buildings for people that you just want to get over the border? Why? Because you want slaves? Like, what's happening?
Well, you think that the sex trafficking shit with Epstein is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, Carmen Salinas. You know about Carmen Salinas? The Mexican actress that they were having all kinds of celebrities flying in to it's a whole bunch of shit. Like, Epstein is a piece of it. There's more to it. You know what I mean? Like, there's more vulnerable people in the world. There's countries where there's more vulnerable kids, and it's like, it's really sickening. It's deep. And like all this conspiracy theory shit is coming out about, that what we were told was not real. It was a lie. Oh, that's not real. That doesn't happen. The EPA chief, he said that the sky lacing shit is real with the chemicals. Like, yeah, we said it wasn't what, hold on.
And important questions about geoengineering and contrails. The American public deserves and expects honesty and transparency from their government.
I was cooking right there, huh?
You were cooking, dude.
For years, people who ask questions in good faith.
I've been studying, man. Well, that's all I fucking pay
even
attention
vilified
to, man.
by the
Scary.
media and their
There's so
own
much going
government. That era is over. The Trump
There's a
EPA
lot
is
going on,
committed
but
to
the main thing
total
is
transparency.
they need to stop.
As a
Like,
result,
whatever they got going
I
on,
tasked
'cause
my
they got
team at
plans.
EPA
These
to
plans have
compile a
been
list of everything we know about contrails and geoengineering for the purpose of releasing it to you now publicly. In other words, I want you to know everything I know about these topics, and without any exception. Instead of
Feels like
simply
cowboys and
dismissing
Indians.
these questions and concerns
Remix.
as baseless conspiracies, we're meeting them head on. We did the legwork, looked at the science, consulted agency experts, and pulled in relevant outside information to put these online resources together. Everything we know about contrails to solar geoengineering will be in there. That means anyone who reads through this information will know as much about these topics as I do as EPA administrator. To anyone who's ever looked up to the streaks in the sky and asked, what the heck is going on?
They have to reveal this shit
about private actors and even governments looking to blot out the sun in the name of stopping global warming. We've endeavored to answer all of your questions at the links on your screen.
So you guys want further information about it? Go check it out, right? But then it gives me the idea, like, okay, you're now saying yes, it's true. Yes, this actually happened. But do you think that we trust you in the fact that you're going to release everything and reveal the true reasoning behind what you do? Just because you're saying, yeah, we did that. Do you think that now we trust you when you told us the opposite and lied to us for so long and been lying for so long? Now we're just supposed to believe what you put in there is everything. No, dude, like, you guys are distrustful. It needs to be a clean house with everybody. All right, Alex, I'm going to hit you back. I got another caller calling in.
All right.
Thank you, Alex. Peace. Hey, big dog, what's going down? This is the AM Wake Up Show, Coffee with Rios, number one morning show in the whole wide world. Craig, let's go.
Best morning show in the world. Hey, you fell down the right rabbit holes, man. Now you're in my universe, man. This is the shit I've been trying to tell people for a while.
Let's go.
But peep this. So I'm gonna ask anybody listening to suspend disbelief for a moment. Just get rid of any concept that you have of this is set. This is what it is. This is truth. Because we're living in an age in where I keep using this word, disclosure. They're using it as like a loaded word to make you feel like the X-Files, aliens, ancient technology, new technology, civilization, advanced civilizations, new energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do that to take you away from the concept of spirituality.
Right.
In every written text, there's people that come from the stars that have knowledge or gifts or fire or power, and they bring it unto man, and man uses it, and he probably demonizes it, destroys his civilization with it, and then they're wiped out, and then it starts over, right? There's a reason why every biblical text and apocrypha has that. It's not alien. In my belief, we're finally seeing.
It's even in the book of Enoch. Enoch goes up into the skies in the ship.
Right. Enoch, yes. So Enoch's heaven sounded like Star Trek.
Right.
And nobody, or Stargate, and it flew over people's heads. What if they've been lying to us about religion? The way religion works, the way religion works as it pertains to this planet, the way religion works as it pertains to our blood, our cultures, the places we lived. That's why they displaced us. What if they want to bring forth a fake apocalypse and show us these beings and make us already conditioned to perceive them as greater, neutral, or good, and in our best interest, when in fact they've been kicked out of this realm before? There's a lot of things in Revelations, Ezekiel, Leviticus. There's a lot of things about the false prophets coming and using technology and science to confuse. But that's also what the Nephilim did. So if you look in the Bible, man, and this is when Bible intersects with science and alchemy. That's what alchemy is. If you look in the Bible, you're going to realize that the Nephilim, the fallen, when they came here, this was their prison. This was their punishment. They were supposed to garden this place for punishment. The ones who disobeyed that were demonized. They started cults. They taught man sacred sciences and magic, all these things, right? This is the lore. They never left. If you look at all of these underground facilities and pyramids and infrastructures and ley lines and ancient architect that we have, even here in the United States, it runs hundreds to thousands of miles underground with civilizations and chambers.
In Long Beach. Long Beach is major with the underground shit. And guess who started the underground? Guess who used to travel underground in Long Beach? Bugsy Siegel. Guess what he was a part of?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Guess who he was? Guess what? Like, it's a bunch of shit, man. Like, and guess what? It went to the ports. Long Beach underground
Right.
ports, right there in the ports, the ports of Los Angeles, one of the biggest ports in the
Right.
world. Long Beach is a big part of the story.
Right.
But go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
Right. So yes, and any port, and especially, and that's good you brought that up. You got to look at the histories of these ports. Who built them? Who ran the ledgers? Who owned the infrastructure? And where that company belongs to as far as origin. Because if we're in the United States, why are these ports owned by different countries?
Right.
Or the same country? I just ain't trying to get nobody kicked off
Mhm,
the internet.
mhm, mhm.
So yes, so disclosure, CERN, SpaceX, project, was it like freedom or safety? Talking about building tunnels underground for in case of an apocalypse, an extinction level event involving AI, nanotech, viruses. These are all things that they did before to prepare for a flood.
Mm-hmm.
Or a great natural disaster or a great extinction level event. And we have them timed around the same time since we've been tracking them since the dinosaurs. And our governments have been looking for ways to not only harvest and regenerate a lot of things that we have in our bodies, melanin, spinal fluid, tissue, HGH, all
Henrietta
that shit,
Flax.
CRT.
Like
Yes, Henrietta Lacks. And the reason why they need to do that is because these are things that are not naturally inside of their bodies. They will not evolve or adapt to this environment. They have to supplement them or place them in genetically. And so we
the new thing that they're trying to do too. Like I was just telling my family, I was like, don't fall into that peptide shit.
Leave your body alone. You don't need peptides.
You don't need
Leave your body
peptides.
alone. You don't need HGH. You don't need you don't need the stuff they're using, insulin, all this stuff. It throws off your genetic code. It's going to make your kids weird. It's going to make your kids weird. It throws off your genetic coding. There's no other way to say it. That's why people who have steroids, they stop reproducing. It's a mutation.
Right.
So, long story short, this president knows what he's done, what he's doing, and who he has aligned himself with. So when whatever the great next false flag hits, whether it be from the sky or from the sea, it's going to be something extraterrestrial and non-human, but it's going to already be conditioned to us.
Yeah.
We've already seen it in media.
Predictive
We've already
programming,
read
like the
about it.
predictive programming shit. Like, oh, let's feed them, breadcrumb them. Let's breadcrumb them with this information, so when it does hit, that it doesn't. It's not shocking.
And the crazy thing about it is how people argue over the crumbs, the nuance of it. So let's say this is how they're going to get us, and I know this is what's going to happen. Let's say they use this Project Bluebeam that everybody just ignores. Let's say they project a biblically accurate version of Angel with the eyes and the wings flying and spiraling all over.
Mm-hmm.
There's only going to be a few thousand people that are going to see that and be like, "Hey, that's fake.
Right.
That's not even real. That's not real. That's not even possible. That's fake because of how kinetics work, physics." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then the rest of the people are going to be arguing over what religion it came from, who it's for. And there's going to be a whole nother side sect that's going to worship and carry out its bidding. And then the government can play, hey, we're neutral, while they're taking your money and building ways and things to survive the next big flood. And if people don't believe they've been practicing this stuff, they can look at CERN, they could look at the levees breaking, and you could go back farther and look at the Mothman and the Steel Bridge or Chernobyl. And it's all secular. And it's all in the same places, and it's all carried out by the same countries. And if that's not ritualistic, I don't know what is, man. And it's systematic. And I don't want to fear monger, because I feel like we're at a place to where people confuse science and spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now people should be focusing on their discernment and their awareness to strengthen their spirit. If you know the Bible, if you know the Talmud, if you know the Quran, if you know the Torah, if you know these things, then nobody can misinterpret it for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
You can't tell me about the book of Genesis. I've read it 3 times. You know? So like These are issues I think the government and the people who are in control are doing to divide us. They're making us, they're pointing up when the issue's coming from the left.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No, it does.
And then when you look up, they start storing stuff on the right. And that's what's going on right now. They are building wealthy survival units for people who can pay $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion underground, underwater. And now they're racing to do it in the sky. Because I believe, my theory in my heart of hearts,
it's called off-planet migration. They were doing it when I was at SpaceX. It was called Occupy Mars.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then when we would talk about this, how did they put it out to the media? Look at this great Star Trek science innovation. We're going to Mars and seeing if we can live there. Who can afford it?
Dude, this fool
did
a whole satellite department.
Terraform it.
He did a whole satellite department that tricked everybody into believing that the satellites we were building were for internet for Mars. I think he put it out in Seattle. And so people were leaving SpaceX in Hawthorne, going to Seattle to build these like so many thousands of satellites. And so he was saying it was internet for Mars. He didn't send one of those satellites out there. That shit is all around the globe. And what do you think Starlink is? The motherfucker built Starlink with a lie. He built that shit on a lie, saying that this is for Occupy Mars and this and that. But don't think that motherfucker is not intending on doing that shit.
And also too, this is something that scares me about those satellites. They have like the same rotational capability, tracking, moving and shit, like the Golden Dome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So why would we need that at our atmosphere aimed towards us?
Damn.
And no one pays attention to that. Why would we need weaponry like that in the atmosphere pointed towards the inhabitants of the planet? Shouldn't that be turned outwards, maybe?
Right.
Especially if like asteroids, meteors, and no one said nothing. They didn't bat an eye. My personal belief is that they're moving towards a dummy autocracy where a bunch of idiots believe they're the smartest ones running this. And this planet's going to be a human subscription service. And slavery is going to be more of what we've been going through the last 100 years in the workforce, just more extreme. They take away your insurance. They take away your ability to own a home. They take away your ability to reproduce. Got to be rich to do that.
Right.
They take away your ability to have clean water and clean air. You got to be wealthy for that. Got to live higher.
Dude, the crazy shit. They have this stuff, and we've been talking about this predictive programming shit, and like as of late, it's been coming out that they have this technology where like missiles are hitting too on point, on location, too quick, too fast. Like, how do you target these people across the globe at this rate and that accurate, right? Like the bombing and shit of Iran is super accurate, like where they're hitting and what they're hitting, accurate as fuck. But it like brought me back to the movie of G.I. Joe, Retaliation. I don't know if anybody ever seen that shit, but if you have, maybe you didn't pay attention to what it was. They were dropping big ass rods from space out of the satellites, and they were releasing tungsten rods that would hit with such velocity, it was like a nuclear bomb. So let me play this clip real quick, and then we'll get back to it because I do want to.
Palace of Westminster making a bullet, and they drop thirds that of tungsten. And you know, they get ready to really the president. You probably don't need to watch the movie to know the answer to that.
So they get ready to fire their super weapon to prove to the rest of the world how awesome they are.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just playing the
describe
movie.
The weapon ammo as a platinum tube with a tungsten rod.
Now, what's his president's face mentions the rods as being in a tube of platinum, but you know, I think that was just for bling, since the melting temperature of platinum is about 2/3 that of tungsten.
And here comes Cobra Commander to help drive home how evil
This
the
is
president
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, he finishes the description of the evil weapon by saying
This is G.I. Joe.
The ammo while gravity does the rest.
And back to the president saying it drops 8 times faster than a bullet. That's not very fast, with a force significantly greater than a nuclear warhead.
So the tungsten rod just hit southwest of the Palace of Westminster, making an absolutely implausible ping noise.
Let's
listen.
First
they
of all,
could
you're in
land a
helicopter
rocket on a
flying that far
barge in the
away, it's
middle of
gonna
the
take a
ocean,
few seconds for the sound to get to you.
return a rocket.
Instantaneously hearing the noise is almost as bad as sound in space. Oh wait, they did that too.
Anyway, we clearly see a large portion of the Thames River getting pushed up in the air.
It's a good question, but first, some research.
They're going to break down the
First
physics.
of all, they chose tungsten because of its extremely high melting point as well as its density. As for the weapon design, believe it or not, this is based on a real experimental weapon conceived by the US military a long time ago.
Project Thor is a program that was
Project
conceived
Thor.
in the 1950s and was later expanded on in the 2000s. It is a scalable system that could utilize small rods or 20-foot-long telephone pole-sized rods for maximum destruction.
As late as 2003, United States Air Force reports described rod drops from low Earth orbits yielding 11.5 equivalent tons of TNT with
Do you
an
hear me?
impact velocity
What?
of Mach 10, or around 7,500 miles per hour.
But we're going to take a shot at calculating our own velocities later.
Okay, so would a Thor rod have the kinetic energy enough to just rock a city block or clash with all of London?
We're going to need to look at the amount of destruction that's going on here.
Yeah, in the clip, there is some serious earth and water moving in there.
Okay, we're going to focus on the water.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Lift that much water, it's just the mass times the acceleration of gravity times the change in height. So the energy
So
required to lift that
before
much water...
we're not going to go all into that, but it's called Project Thor. And dude,
that's nuts.
It's nuts what they're doing and what they've been doing and what they've been telling us. And the whole shit about G.I. Joe is also a coup, is a private secret organization trying to take over paramilitary coup. The whole thing about G.I. Joe. That's it. And they've been doing this shit forever. They put it in movies. Like when they want to do some shit, they're gonna do some shit.
And you're hitting on that, and that's why I said people got to look at the word disclosure and the way our government gives it to us, because they'll be like, well, we've been showing you we've had the capability for years, and we'll take that blanket statement and accept it, but them showing us is just like what you just did, Rios. They'll put it in media to know it's capable.
Right.
It's digestible. Now it's real. It's not intangible. Now you know a tungsten rod can fall from a orbital and use the velocity and heat from the atmosphere to create a giant explosion with the impact.
Right. And guess even during orbital tube welding for the rockets, for the tanks to be welded together, for the prop lines, the propulsion lines, we used used tungsten pins for the welding.
Right.
Tungsten was always the hardest. Inconel, you have Inconel as well, but tungsten was the rod for welding. Like it's just
so. And yes, and this is something that people should look at too. I'm glad you're talking about tungsten and how it's been used throughout history, because it's very old. Look at the Chernobyl, the steel mill bridge with during the Mothman cryptid sightings. Look at the craters found where the ELE points are supposedly for dinosaurs. And then you just want to divide that by these same 7 places that we are excavating, exploring, taking stuff from, and fighting over for the past 1,000 years. Yeah, man, I think unfortunately this is we're coming to a closing of a cycle, and the disclosure is they're just gonna because we have a dumb commander in chief, they're gonna pull the blanket from underneath us and force the masses to figure out what the fuck is going on for themselves. And the problem with that is we've been dumbed down through our own government's media for probably the past 60 years with help from occupations.
Yeah.
So like, not to get too conspiratorial, but it's happening. This is what George Carlin was talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
This is what Malcolm X was warning about when he started talking about the Ashkenazi and their occupation and influence, even in Islam. These are the things that like this is why a bunch of UFO people are being killed, because their job isn't just to research UFOs, it's also materials, energies, happenings, aberrations, anomalies, energy signatures, all that shit. My father had a very, very high job on naval warships to track things, and we haven't been track things in like over the Middle East. And there's more strange happenings over these places than people know. And that's why disclosures are happening, because one, the military's pissed off. The United Nations is pissed off. And they know that Israel is pulling a spiritual play to convince us that we're doing in some type of holy war.
Yeah.
When their intention is truly, purely against anything Christian. So yeah, man, to land, I think people should start looking at the spiritual aspects of science as it relates to even a periodic table. There's more than just what's on the board. Go research those two and understand that it's not a good time to be unaware.
And
if I can say that, man.
It's even the junk DNA, right? Like they talk about the junk DNA
Right.
that they don't even know about, like what that is even there. What's the purpose of it? It's just tripping me out. Just so much shit that they try to act like they know what's going on or what's happening and this and that. They have no idea about even the body, the genetics of our body. They have no idea.
Right.
They call it junk DNA. Junk DNA.
Well,
they don't
here's
know.
the issue with them. I'm sorry to cut you off. Here's the issue with medical science right now. It's been written and created by racist, elitist, rapists, and killers, and body snatchers. They experimented on the melanated to try to get things to help them. They mutated their gene pool. No matter if you can be mad at me at that statement or not, the Caucasic gene pool has a very weird mutation aberration in it from Neanderthals. And it also has a percentage of canine, primate, all these other things. And it goes back to the blood. It's not a joke. It's not a stereotype. It's science. But most melanated people have, I think it's like a certain 3. And there's one blood type that's the blood type. It's the phenotype. It's the one you need to build other genetics, races, right?
Yeah.
That and they know that, and it's called an immortal gene, and that's what Henrietta Lacks has. There's the junk genes that they call junk. They call them junk because they don't have them. They do not have those genes, so they have to mate or experiment and splice genetics to get these genes to survive in this environment. Period. In the environment, not just California, the world. And if you don't believe that, man, look at skin cancer rates, look at eye cancer rates, look at tongue, teeth, bone cancer, and then look at the science of cancer, what it is.
Remember the dude I had on the show that was talking about his the medicine, his company, Nature's V,
the remedies, yeah,
and interferon,
right?
And he said, look it up on Time Magazine. Interferon, Time Magazine cover. Look at this shit, you guys. Interferon on the front of Times Magazine. Interferon, the IF drug for cancer. And then it disappeared.
Right.
It disappeared. Interferon. And it's
and
our body naturally produces that shit. Go ahead, my bad.
Right. No, you're cooking. From where I was raised and how I grew up, we knew of a guy named Dr. Sebi that had cured these things. It was curing celebrities and shit, cancer, AIDS, HIV, different types of like really deep sicknesses to do with our exposure over here in the West. And his whole theory was allowing the body to take from what it naturally has and recreate what it should in this environment. And everyone thought he was crazy and weird and shit, but he was actually doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Your body, like, put it this way. If I'm sick and I need to get better, like, let's say I have a cold, like I got what's the name for the norovirus here, right? I get the norovirus and I'm sick. I probably shouldn't be eating or drinking or taking the same thing that my Caucasian, blue-eyed, white-haired homie is if he had the same virus. We're from different places. We're almost a different species. We're just human. So you can't feed one type of snake the same thing as you feed another type of serpent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are differences in diets, even though you're the same phenotype. So like I learned when I was actually going through withdrawals, man, from alcoholism. I was very, 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 very much so addicted to alcohol before the age of 25. And to the point where my life started spiraling. I would get like withdrawals and attacks and headaches and shit. And so my dad sent me to Guyana, and he said, you need to go be in the water.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go work on your spirit so you can build your body up. And then the stuff they gave me for the headaches, it was natural. It was stuff from the damn ground, from the land. It was stuff they made. It was stuff they made in a molcajete or a cauldron, man. There was no cough syrup. It was honey infused with different things from the land. The water, even the salt. I found out I shouldn't be having the iodized salt here. I should be having salt closer to West Africa or South America because my body naturally produces that kind of salt.
Right. Like alkalytic, alkaline, acidic stuff. Some need more acid, some need less acid, some need more alkaline, some need less alkaline. Everybody's body type.
I forgot what alcohol even smelled like 2 weeks in.
Damn.
Just eating naturally, being in the sun, running. And then my recovery from that, man, was crazy because I came back to this thing, started fighting again. It's like I had a new body. And fasting, alkaline water, purging, getting like microplastics and small metals out of your system because they're there. That's real. And it's nothing to do with pharmaceutical companies, man. You can do that, and you can do that in an Epsom salt bath with some remedies.
Hey, look at this. Where was Dr. Sebi going?
Huh?
Where was Dr. Sebi's retreat? I think it was Honduras.
Yeah, it was in Honduras, I believe.
I think he was taking Left Eye was in Honduras. Leah was in Honduras. Like these people that are dead now.
He had these crazy books of like, all the hair care products that people are putting in their hair now to regrow their hair.
Mm-hmm.
And the natural stuff that they're selling. Mans was selling that stuff in like 88, G.
Man.
And they called him a snake oil salesman and a heretic, and he's killing you. It's poison. The government made him look like he was crazy until he had proof and documentation and actual studies passed, and then they killed him. We're not supposed to be able to draw from our natural environment. That would take away their ability to make money off us. That's why you can't give out free food or grow your own grow your own fruit trees. And even if you own the land, you got to get cleared by the city or a zoning clearance. You know what I mean? These are things that they do purposely because if nature stood with man and we honored the land as we should, it would take care of us back, man. Straight up. The way we've destroyed the world is like we keep ripping the flesh off of it and putting iron, steel, and concrete on it. That's a wound that you just put a Band-Aid on. I won't let it heal.
Right.
And then now we're having the reactions of that, the warming, the core of the world is literally, the Earth's core is spinning up faster than it should right now. And that should alarm people, but it doesn't.
Well, it didn't even alarm them that they said they found an extra ocean in the ocean that has more water than the surface of the Earth.
But I'm gonna tell you, they knew there was an extra ocean. Hold on, Rios. They knew there was an extra ocean in the ocean when they made the first maps. They knew that. They know that, but that's this disclosure shit.
I was just about to say that. That's the disclosure shit. Like, okay, let's disclose it.
Yeah.
Let's put it in Megalodon. They put it in Megalodon. Remember the mega shark couldn't come through unless he followed some shit through the ocean. But they put it in King Kong and Godzilla. They putting all this shit like it's the disclosure shit, the predictive programming. You're right on point.
They put it right in your face. They put it right in our face in National Geographic. This is the Smithsonian loves doing that. Ancient aliens. Let's tell these people about demons. Let's tell these people about demons and aberrations and weird happenings that really happened, documented. But let's put science and technology in front of it so they feel smart and not worry about their spirits.
So let me ask you this. What do you think really happened at the mall in Miami?
at the mall in Miami.
Yeah, where they had all them police out there, and they shut down the mall because they said it was people were making accusations that there was giant beings that showed up out of nowhere. They tried to say, it was some kids fighting. Right. Well, why the fuck did you have 200 police cars there?
Right. Because, so if you go back at that time, do me a favor, when you get free time, look at the mall in Miami wasn't the only crazy thing that happened during that week.
Okay.
I believe there was a lady on a plane that saw some weird shit. There was
when she was saying, you guys don't see that person in the back. You don't see that person?
Right. Yeah. Then we had the flying orb boxes over multiple cities for months. That they didn't know if they were drones, government. It was like Philadelphia, New Jersey, Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Las Vegas thing was really weird because they caught a guy.
Right. They had people
with police camera on. He said, what are we here for? He said, there's an alien back here, dude. He was like, wait, what the fuck? He's like, it's a dude back here. It's an alien. And where's that guy? Where's that family at now? Where's that Las Vegas family? They can't find him.
And then, peep this. And then there was the people that kept seeing giants on mountaintops.
Right.
And those guys got disappeared too. So if anybody's really Bible readers, multiple times in that book, he says that when there's an aberration or something's wrong, God's going to send messages from the sky.
Dude, there's so much shit was going on. And like leading up to that, remember leading up to that shit, there was all the cannibalism shit happening too.
Yeah. Hey, hold on, peep this. A message from the sky, written in the sky, falling from the stars. There's a giant message called Atlas something that's been coming towards us for how long now?
Yeah, they stopped talking about that motherfucker.
But that's disclosure, ain't it? At least they told us it was coming.
Well, Atlas.
Yeah, all these things are connected, and I think what people are saying are aberrations or glitches or distortions in reality because they're playing with it. That's what CERN is for. I think that's what the Israeli occupation thing is about. I think they want to bring forth a fake apocalypse so they can protest themselves the saviors.
Hey, man, I think look at this. So I think they have access to this technology shit, right? That we had, that was everybody's. They have access to it, and what they're trying to do, to me, the biggest thing that nobody's talking about is changing timelines and changing dimensions and going in time travel and like trying to reconfigure and recreate certain things because something about Earth is very important. There's something about Earth and the materials here that are very important. There wouldn't be all this shit happening here. And I think what they're doing is like trying to do some shit with the timeline dimensions and like going from future to the past and trying to I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure it has some shit to do with time travel and that kind of technology and space, time.
I think they're trying to figure out, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I think they're trying to make a neo Christ.
Yeah, that's the antimatter.
Right. I think they're trying to. I think the reason why they were so interested in everything in the Middle East and everything from like the Gilgamesh tombs and Solomon's ring and the tabs I think they're interested in that to try to get the sacred science knowledge that he had.
Yeah.
Because now they can replicate that shit down to the gene. And if you can create a Messiah, you can create the message. They've been doing that with the church for thousands of years, right? I truly believe that they're trying to create trying to proclaim themselves as the true people by creating a false Christ.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
We've been indoctrinated with Christianity, and we believe that this bastardized, evil version that we do in the West is Christianity. We believe that.
Hey,
that's the craziest
Soda H5B. Which Bible? Which Bible do you speak of? The Old Testament, the New Testament, the Ethiopian Bible? Which Bible?
Right.
Which one do you?
Are you talking about the one? The one King James wrote before he wrote the Book of Demonology, or the one King James wrote after he wrote the Book of Demonology?
Which one are you
talking
about?
Are you talking about the Slaves Bible?
Are you talking about the Slaves
Eastern
Bible?
One that they gave to the Eastern one they gave to the Asians when they called them Orientals?
Yeah. Which Bible? Which Bible are you talking about to read in that it says it in the Bible? Did you read the one that has all the books they left out? Talking about the Dead Scrolls? You talking about the Book of Jubilee? You talking about where we going with it?
Right. Are we talking about Enochian scrolls?
Dude,
there's
one canon Bible written by who? Who was the canon Bible written by?
There's not one canon Bible, and that's the issue.
This shit is crazy.
That's the joke.
There's one canon Bible.
You see how one canon Bible. He just said that there's one canonical Bible right now. That's what he just said. You understand me, man? And we know without a shadow of a doubt that book has been rewritten, redistributed, changed, altered.
Take these women out. Take that woman out. Her role is too powerful in there. Like, we don't like that.
And speaking of women, I know this is going to piss off a lot of Republicans, but I feel that's what they're also keeping out too, the concept of the divine feminine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Straight up. I think even if that got spoken up to the power of which it should, it would topple civilization.
Right.
Because you've been worshiping the wrong way, brother.
Exactly.
And you've been actually beating up your mothers.
Whew.
And keeping your mothers from recreating and keeping your mothers from bringing forth peace, a Messiah, knowledge, the 7 sciences that were supposed to come through the portal of the womb. That's a woman, family.
Right.
But but we'll listen to, and no disrespect to any of the LGBTQ community, but we'll listen to a trans person teach us about religion. And be like, let that person preach that, man. Everybody can. That's the trick. That's the aha.
Yeah.
That's the abracadabra to their abraxas. You know what I'm saying? Because I truly in my heart believe that this planet, that this realm we're in, this timeline we're in, is probably because of penance, recompense, retribution, and the sacrifice that was made by the Son of the Father. But I think that's been manipulated to think that we serve these beings that were stuck here with us.
Right. Right. And
the right here with us.
The manipulation of we can control. Like this is the control right here. This is the control. Oh, let's hide all this shit about resources and magic and power and the pituitary gland and the connection to the earth, the spirits, the stars. Let's hide all that from them. And let's say, let's refurbish it. Let's recycle it, refurbish it like this. And that's what's what's happening.
Know where they killed each other? Know where they killed each other with keeping it from, with keeping us dumb? Connectivity. They never thought that the world would be at a place where a common Negro could get on some type of device and talk to the Gaelic Irish man and have a conversation about spirituality, religion, culture, and everything in the middle as it pertains to their treatment.
Right. They didn't see this coming?
As it pertains to their treatment. They didn't see it coming. They didn't see social media overpaid programming because we've made celebrities. We told them who to listen to.
But that's also why I think that they released the AI, because I think they released the AI as in like, let's get this shit out so we can put this information and create disbelief. Like where people can't believe anything. Let's distract where they can't believe anything. Oh, that's AI. That's this. That's
cognitive dissonance. It's cognitive dissonance because now you're sitting there and being like, if you see something that's truly messed up and really that's AI.
Mm-hmm.
And then when AI tells you, but speaking of AI, but you don't know how many people I've had to like fire or let go or excommunicate from because they'll send responses in AI. And I know that's how I know you're not even here with us anymore, brother.
Right. Right.
You've already bent the knee and said, I submit to this new. And believe it or not, if you read the Bible, it said this new false god would be over like science and technology and shit.
Dude.
And they've been coding us. There's a show called American Gods where one of the new gods was literally the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's a very good show. And I think, especially from my understanding of like occultism and as it pertains to theology and the pantheons of God or deities trapped on this earth, in this realm, I think everybody should watch that because, yeah, man, the ability to get everyone's consciousness to go in one direction is worship.
Ooh-wee.
If I can get collective consciousness to push that energy in a direction, I am now created a tabernacle for whatever deity we want.
Yeah, that's why I said that, like, if we could get them to sing this song all over the world, if we could get them to chant this, to sing this, and put this vibration out there to this song, ooh, we're altering.
Right. Like somebody said yesterday, I forget, I think it was in a kick. It was like, or I think it was you asked, how does this pertain to Zionism with the music?
Mm-hmm.
When you get a guy going, Epstein was heaven sent.
Yeah.
That's passive indoctrination of a horrible thing that you shouldn't even put the two in the same sentence.
And why?
Or you get a guy saying, and why?
And why? Like that's
then,
my takeaway from it was like, what was the purpose? What was the reason?
and then think of the angling and the position of time we're in right now, where I truly believe that our cultures are at an awakening. That means there is going to be mass confusion. So you are looking for words of direction, right?
Right.
And then the organic gospel Sesame Street rapper hits you with that after he's ran 3 years of this organic, I'm from the town, I love my people, I love the kids play.
Yeah. As soon as he signs with The Rock. Oh shit, I didn't even think about that. 2 weeks after he signs with The Rock.
Had kids on stage. Yeah, this nigga had kids on stage dancing and shit. Was storming the bars, everybody was going, you know what I'm saying? Would you want those kids thinking, would you want those babies thinking Epstein was heaven sent?
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Somebody said, so there's two things I want to bring up in here because it's I encourage y'all to research into who Jesus of Nazareth actually was, a man. Who was he? Why did the world love him? Why did we literally measure the metric of time around his death, AD and BC? Nobody is taking the significance away from a figure that was amazing. Like no one said Jesus was not a good guy or Jesus wasn't amazing. No one said that. No one said anything about that. No one said, but actually, nobody said anything discouraging about Jesus. I wouldn't even stand for that. Like no one said anything.
I wouldn't either.
Like no one said anything discouraging about Jesus.
And you notice how, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go
everything
ahead.
going on right now is everything going on in our world right now is against Jesus.
Right.
If he was here in this moment, he'd be flipping tables, walking in the fires, washing feet of whores, turning water into wine.
I'm telling you,
what is wrong with these people, my nigga?
That's why I said, I was like, shit, there's only one person who's talking against these nasty ass motherfuckers. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm going to go to my horrible death fighting against these motherfuckers that's lying on me. And I'm going to do it for you. Like the story of that, the story behind facing your enemies and sacrificing and compromising, knowing that you're going to go through the most brutal shit. And then have people that you showed that I could walk on water, I could do these miracles, or I can do these things, and to show them that shit, and they still turn on you, and they still sell you for some coins, and they still doubt you and say, "Oh, but you believe the books that they wrote." When they saw him firsthand, you saw him firsthand.
After they murdered him, they be like, "Oh, my bad." Hey, so check this out. He did that. He was a dope dude. He was cool, man. And he also said, y'all shouldn't be mad at us like that.
Man.
He said, y'all should chill. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should chill a little bit. Cut this little war out. Because, we cool now. We get it.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, yeah, see? They told you they got it, man. Leave them alone. No, nigga. It's the same thing with Malcolm X.
Same thing.
And it's worse with Martin Luther King. Because Martin Luther King literally said, I fear I have led my people into a burning building. He wrote extensively before his death, after his meetings with Malcolm and many other people, that we should have kept segregation and forced them to respect it and let us build our own and have our own banks and schools and colleges and not rely on them to give us our worth. It was a mistake. It was a clerical error. He made it in haste. He wrote these words. And then niggas are like, all right, whatever. I like the I Have a Dream speech.
Right.
But then when those little girls went to that school, what happened to them? You had to have police and all because they're trying to lynch the black baby girls. First day of white school. And it's still going on today.
Hey, you know
You
what?
know, that's the magic trick, man.
And I feel like, dude, people don't know about Malcolm X's mom.
Right.
They don't have any idea about how powerful Malcolm X's mom was. Like, dude, she was a fucking beast. You know what I mean? Fighting against the man and giving her kids information, talking 4 different languages. And they said that she was crazy when they killed her husband. And she was like, no, that was the KKK. They did that. They said, no, he committed suicide. Oh, he tied himself up to the railroads, to the tracks. He tied himself up.
Right.
So he did that. And then they called her crazy. They put her in jail for a mental institution for 25 years. But she is the one that created these children and taught them to do this and do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but no one ever talks about that. Right. And I think that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were closer than ever of doing the Dragon Ball Z fusion, where they touched the hand, like they fused together. Like, oh, I get what you're saying now. I get what you're saying now. Now, if those two would have fused,
you didn't see what happened.
Yeah,
you didn't see what happened when they started talking. Everybody died. Sam Cooke.
Ooh.
That was the conduit between their relationship. Muhammad Ali started getting death threats. Tried to send his ass over to the military. They said, we can't let niggas with money communicate. They're from different parts of this place. Why are they friends?
Right.
They're supposed to be enemies. And yeah, man, and it's crazy. That's why I don't fuck with Jesse Jackson, R.I.P. Don't fuck with Jim Brown. Don't fuck with Al Sharpton, because I read the files and I know what they did when they were next to those men. And I know that they're in these YNs talking about we don't roll with snitching, we don't fuck with no snakes.
Oh,
You
really?
celebrated their lives.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Oh, really, my brother? You celebrated some really big ones. What about homeboy next to Fred Hampton? You know, and like so when I tell people that the what we have to defeat the system has already been inside of us forever.
Oh shit! I got a movie I need you to watch.
Into it.
I got a movie I want you to watch. It's on YouTube. But me and my wife, we went to the theaters to see it. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
it's called Black News. Black News, so vicious.
Black News,
and it's BLKNWS. But just so you don't forget, I had to get that because I would have forgot.
You know
but you can watch it on YouTube. Or
I
Apple
just
TV.
watched a movie. I just watched this old movie, man. I forget the title. It has the Wayans brother. It has Damon Wayans, and he plays a newscaster, and he ends up like code switching, and it drives him crazy. And it was a really, really good piece in what the media does to black people. And they buried the movie. Damon Wayans is in it. I'm gonna shoot you the title, but they called the TV the idiot box, and it went through this really cool like allegory of what television was for paid programming and how it affected black people and black communities directly.
Oh, it was with the dude from 5 Heartbeat, Robert Townsend was a part of it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Robert Townsend produced it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they canceled Mance, because he eyes wide shutted him. To be in the industry, you had to be. You had to code switch. You had to know many languages. You had to be able to talk under pressure when the pressure against you was like racially motivated,
right?
Just to prove that you're one of the good ones, right? And
look at Meteor Man. Look at Meteor Man. If you think about the messaging of Meteor Man, like about how the community was taking advantage of the children and using the children, the baby lords, it's crazy. Like Robert Townsend was on one.
Remember everybody. Or my favorite one, because people don't watch blaxploitation movies, and that's insane to me because they're black. And the reason they're called blaxploitation is because they're telling you about how they exploited our black asses with comedy.
Right.
Sometimes they were crime, all that, but they were literally thought pieces. Okay? So, Spook at the Door, I think everybody needs to go check that out. Yeah. But a recent one, which makes me laugh, is the Black Dynamite.
This call is being recorded.
What?
Sorry.
This call is no longer being recorded.
I'm on work phone. My bad.
I thought that was mine. But go ahead.
No, that was mine, bro. I was like, oh, damn, I'm over here acting like the feds. So there's a recent one, Black Dynamite, man, where they talk about how the liquor store, gun store, and pimping and prostitution, right?
Wait, is that with the karate dude? That's with
Michael Jai White, right?
Michael Jai White, yeah.
Black Dynamite. I sell drugs in the community. That movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what he was telling was actual COINTELPRO things that happened during that time. They were trying to sterilize black men and women by putting things in their drinks.
Right.
And they did it. They put them in malt liquor and the fruity, like Boone's Farm styles drink they had going in the 90s. And it was giving people cancer. It was like messing up their reproduction system, shutting down their stomachs.
That's why they always told us not to drink that fruit punch out of the milk carton. That I forget what it was, boysenberry or some shit.
Because
it was, yeah.
Right. Wild berry or
berry.
melon.
Yeah.
Tropical,
There was
some
some
shit like that.
in that little milk carton.
David Duke and his family created that company. He was the leader of the KKK, and they put certain things like carpet cleaner and stuff, just enough to where it would poison you, but it would pass FDA. And they put it in liquor stores on purpose. And the government knew, made them pay a small buyout, and it was over with. They did this accompanied with the rising success for them, which was the war on drugs and the crack cocaine epidemic until it spiraled out of hand. And to put the cherry on top, that's when they started letting gun owners license storefronts. So like that was in the movie. They even it was even the right time during the 70s and 80s. It was the right time. Even the right president they made fun of. And nobody paid attention because it's a black exploitation. But he even said, yo, Hollywood's fucked up. Like they wouldn't let that movie go to the movie theaters after they watched it because they're like, oh, you can't tell them that. You're going to get us in trouble with the people who probably fund us. Yeah, man, all of it's very secular. The word disclosure, I think people should look at it more like when you're seeing some shit on TV and it's wild, you should be like, why am I seeing this? Why now? What's going on in the world to where this is okay? The music, we all know how the music industry goes. If anyone's confused about the music industry at this point, I mean, that's going to be your cross to bear, man. But you should be careful of the stuff you digest because it's ritualistic. You're chanting. You're literally in a group state with a bunch of people saying the same shit, probably at the same time.
Yeah.
Just don't know it. And you're doing it on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. That's a hive mind thinking. That's mass consciousness through frequency. That's why you find a lot of people on Instagram that like the same music you do.
Dude. Like
frequency and algorithm are the same thing, just on two platforms.
Algorithms, right? Frequency algorithms. And the thing is, like, if you think about like the attacks, like we always go back to the attacks on the community, right? Like attacks on the community. Why they keep stopping this? Why they keep stopping this? Why they won't let this happen? It's because once the energies combine, they know, nigga, it's like Captain Planet. Nigga, like once our energies combine, Captain Planet, you know what I mean? Like they don't want people to come together to have the right frequencies and the right vibrations.
You live in California, right? You live in California like I live in California, right, Rios?
Right.
Tell me they weren't painting us mad crazy all over the news like we were just on fire. Niggas was fighting in the streets, and that wasn't even happening.
It wasn't even happening.
Like we were like, what are these people talking about, right? Like I had people arguing with me because I wasn't scared enough about something that wasn't going on in the city I live in. I live in Whittier. When the ice rays and shit was here, I was here. It happened right around where I live.
Yeah.
And I didn't see none of that on the TV footage. How you doing? I didn't see none of that in the footage on the television. None of it. What I seen was a bunch of like, it looked like set up in front of Target, go crazy, then pack up and leave. Set up in front of Walmart, go crazy, pack up and leave. All throughout the city. And so like something you said hit the nail on the head for me. When those powers align, it's kind of hard to confuse. There's mad conversations going on the internet between the communities, Black, Latino, and Hispanic, and Asian because of this ICE shit. So a lot of stuff got aired out, from stereotypes to hatreds to what's going on in the, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff started getting aired out. And then once everybody got over, like, okay, you Black, I'm Mexican, he's Asian. Now what do we do? There was. And then guess what? It's quiet out here.
Right.
It's hella quiet out here. They went to Minnesota.
Right.
They went to Minnesota after they ran a play on everybody for about a year on Somalis and Sudanese people.
Why?
They ran a straight play on us. Remember when they were saying they were stealing people's dogs and shit with the Haitians and eating them?
Yeah.
They were beating up people's kids. They tearing up the community.
I didn't even talk about this. Did you hear about the Haitian dude that gave out 40% of to migrate to America? He sold that shit, 40% of them. He sold it to Dominicans. So 40% of the motherfuckers that got in on that shit, he sold out his own people.
Oh yeah,
to the Dominicans.
That's why, like, okay, it's funny you say that. So me being West Indian, there's like a funny thing about like Haitians.
Yeah,
we know that at some point in time they're about to get their bread.
They're gonna get their bread.
So it's like you got to deal with them on a I forget what they call it, the clock that turns upside down and the sand drops.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much time you got with a Haitian when it comes to a deal. When that sand's out, he's gonna end up on top. And it's they've been like that since Toussaint Louverture. Ain't shit changed.
It's just
ain't shit changed.
It ain't on them, it's in them.
Yeah, it ain't on them, it's in them. But that's the double-edged sword of tribalism and culture. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the tribalism. And then what happens when Dominicans get over here?
Dude, hold on. Hey, thank you, Andre. 7515. 100 super chat dollars. Appreciate all you do, Rios.
Hey.
Love these types of talks. They get you thinking of something bigger than the everyday bullshit we all got to go through in life. Thank you, Jumbie, because Jumbie's also creating this conversation. Great opportunity to have this conversation. So shout out to Andre, shout out to Jumbie, man, because without all of us, this conversation doesn't happen. And that super chat is what actually helps keep this shit going. You know what I mean? Like, when I don't have no crazy shit to look at, I'm here on YouTube. If I'm not going to get blocked globally, I'm here on YouTube. But if it's going to block me globally, kick. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thank you too, Jumbie. I appreciate you, man.
No problem, man. Yeah, I appreciate Rios, man. I appreciate you for having the space, man, because like I know, being black, bro, when shit like this pops and we have to have these conversations, usually the black dude gets the Kunta hat put on his head and the power fist next to him, like, hey, when the truth is he might just be hyper aware and sensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's very important to have a third space to have conversations here without confrontation.
Right.
And if confrontation does happen, you can talk about it. Because that's, like I said earlier, about the magic tricks we pull on each other. That's abracadabra.
Right.
I don't want to talk about this. I'm gonna bring confrontation here. Yeah, man. I love the fact that people have to talk about it and articulate and explain their point. Not just come with a blanket statement. And I appreciate you that, Rios, because that's a rare thing on the internet right now.
Right. But look, it's a rare thing, and it's not even because of me. It's just that it's a rare thing because you guys are invested in this. And you guys have a platform as well. It's not just it's not platforming me, it's platforming us. And I think if we get more people to be like, oh, this is for us. This ain't for me just to just get here. I'm gonna get on here, be handsome or cute and get girls. Like, no, nigga, this is really just a safe space for us to have these conversations. And so we can benefit from thought. Like Andre said, it's like thought provoking, like, oh shit, I never thought about that. Oh shit, you know what? I don't agree completely with Ohio, but I do see what he's saying. And this is not the place for us to just shit on each other and just shut each other down like, nah, you dumb and fucking stupid. No, it's like, okay, I hear what you're saying. Don't agree, but this is my point that I'm coming with. And like, we listen to each other here. That's what I love about the Ghetto Cafe. Yeah, we have our moments or whatnot, but we listen. We listen like, okay, shit. Dogface always got some point of view. Ohio got some point of view. You got some point of view. Like, Alberto got some point of view. JB. And like, I really feel like when we all come together with the communication, it's like literally unstoppable. Yeah, we might not have 1 million views, but I feel like our energy, collective energy, is unstoppable.
Right. And I'll be honest with you, it shows, man, because even me being in a different platform, like with martial arts, I come across so many fans of your show. You know what I mean? Or know of me or know of Jumbie, period, because of conversations on Rios. And they actually talked to me about stuff on the show.
That's dope.
And that was like crazy for me. Because I hate talking about fighting all the time.
That's dope.
And yeah, man, it's truly something I think I think we should get back to, man. All of us, we should get back to the art of dialogue and conversation.
Right. Oh, don't let me forget Alex. Shout out to Alex too. Shout out Alex DeLarge also. Shout out everybody. Mel Strains, even Gus Returns, Rotten Roll, everybody that's in here, Wavy Carter, everybody. Shout out all y'all, man. But yes, I just had to give a shout out for that super chat because that was a real comment. That was a real donation, but it was also
dope,
a real comment.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's you know what I'm saying, man. That's why I like waking up and watching the show, man. I watch every morning. Me and the guys being here training, we watch every morning, man, because you got to be up at 5 a.m. and your body hurts. At least you got something cool to listen to while I'm yelling at you and calling you an idiot. You know. Hey, get your feet together, stupid.
Hey,
man. You real sad about these goddamn aliens?
Man, like get it together. And look, shout out to you because I got to give you a special birthday shout out. Happy belated birthday. You celebrating your shit today. Are you doing some super Street Fighter shit and celebrating you? You deserve to be celebrated as well. So happy birthday, man, to your 40th.
Thanks,
man. And look, I'm an old ass man, dude. I'm 45 years old. So I can only be here and just share what I've been through and then listen to some of you younger men and women on your point of views and my point of view and like come together and maybe we'll have some kind of common ground.
Right. No, and I want to say too, man, I want to appreciate the friendship you've given me, man, going into my 40s.
Hey, man.
We had, and I will say this, man, while I got you here, and when you came and supported us in Vegas for a very big fight for Taco, and you knew the pressure that was on the line, I appreciated your words before, man, and the conversation we had about cooling down, letting go, getting ready for what's next, talking about what's next. And I didn't even realize how important that was because even at my old age, I can get stuck in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I appreciate you, man, because coaching at this level is new for me. So of course I'm gonna need to hear better perspectives. I'm gonna make mistakes. I need to understand them and deal with them instead of just being like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, shout out Rios, man. I appreciate you because yeah, especially during the time I met you, I was very, very angry because I've been on the internet since it's been created. I'm not a YouTube guy, but I have I got a big internet presence. And to see what was being platformed and how these black dudes will go up there and just completely sell their souls for likes, shares, views, clout, and free clothing and stuff, and say the most egregious things to the youth. It broke my heart, man. It made me angry.
Yeah.
And the conversation which you gave me understanding that now you ain't crazy growing up. You're going away from things that you used to think were normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that conversation really, I sat at home for like a week, like, yeah, man, I had to really take into account the blessings and how those come with responsibility. And I was like, yeah, he was right. Shit.
Yeah. Heavy is the crown.
Rios, man.
Heavy is the crown. And the thing is, like, I have an advantage. Like, we all have an advantage, right? We get to see each other, right? Like, we don't have to be in the situation. Right. But we have the privilege of being able to sit back and watch and see somebody's greatness and see somebody's energy or their vibration and be like, oh, dude, this is a cool person, cool human. I want the best for them. And I say that I want us all to win. I literally mean that shit. I want us all to win.
Right.
But that also gives us the advantage and the viewpoint to be like, okay, I see something going on. I'm a piece of shit if I don't say something. You know what I mean? Like I don't love myself if I don't go to my brother that I love. If I love him, I love myself. I love myself. I love him. And I got to go say the hard thing. Like sometimes it's easy to just glaze and say, oh, congratulations, this and that. But it's the things that are hard to say that people avoid saying that takes the authenticity away from you. Like, no, I have to be authentically me. I'm going to come and talk to you and say, hey, this is what I'm noticing. I don't know. I could be off. I could be way off, but just let me know. But let me share this with you. It's all love all the time. I'm coming from a good place. And that's how we have to have those foundations with each other to where we can have the hard conversation. Because it becomes not a hard conversation because of the acceptance of, I trust you. I believe you want the best for me. I know this ain't coming from a bad place. But guess what? Here's where I am on that. And like, oh, okay, now I get it. I see. Okay, I got you. But yeah, man, you created that space.
And that's the only way to win a war, man. And you know, you have to be able to listen to perspective. You know, because if anybody ever thinks you're the baddest thing on the field, somebody's gonna knock you over.
Yeah, for sure.
Badly, you know. And yeah, man, we really appreciate that, especially because I was going into Mexico from London.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciated it. That I refocused. Hey, man, get your shit together, ass talk.
Like, I appreciate being down here. I love all this shit. You guys are doing great shit, but I got something to tell you.
Yeah, and it really, it snapped me back into perspective, because then I realized where I was, what I was doing in that moment, and the responsibility that laid on me. I wasn't looking directly at it. It was just floating on me. And I was like, I'm stupid. I literally got the torch. What the fuck am I doing to worry about anything else?
Right, because you're leading the way.
Right. And yeah, man, I appreciate you for that, man, because even at 40, even with the things I've done in the sport, imposter syndrome will still sneak in new spaces if you're not wise and in your own skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to get slapped back in that direction, man. And it was funny. I was so pissed at myself. I couldn't be nothing but hyper fixated on victory, because I wasted too much time focusing on things that weren't important.
But sometimes our day in, day out can become so normal and regular, we forget how amazing and how incredible the opportunity is that we have right now. But just sometimes it's like, dude, you're fucking amazing. You're in a special position. Yeah, you may wake up and then be like, fuck. But your fuck this morning is what somebody is dying to be. They dying to be in your position. Right. They what you got right now is a blessing. And sometimes we just need to be reminded of how amazing life is. Like, oh, let's go, cuz like, nigga, fuck all all that noise.
Yeah, and
fuck
that don't
shit.
take that goofy stuff serious. Yeah, that was a great lesson for me in 39, man. Don't be taking that goofy shit serious, brother, because yeah, man, you create the reality that you want, brother, every waking step. And I forgot that. You know, you go knocking on doors, somebody's gonna open eventually. And even if you are the man to knock on that door, do you really want to be?
Right.
You got time.
Right.
You know? And yeah, bro, so I want to say that, man, that was a really dope lesson for 39. I appreciate you being a friend and a supporter of the guys, man. Your support has gone so crazy for Jules, Taco, Jamal. I couldn't even tell you, man, because a whole different side. The people I wanted to see, my people, finally got to see my guys fight.
Hey, dude,
and
that shit was so
changed
dope.
a lot for them.
So dope.
You know, and yeah, man, I appreciate you, Rios, before I let you go. But dope show, man. Everybody in the chat, please, 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 please use your head and your heart and your gut feeling. That's your spirit. All three of those things combined, use all three of them. Yeah, and then make sure you're walking inside that mech with your eyes open. You're controlling. You're not just going through your day, because that's how they get us, man. But one love, man. I got to get back to writing curriculum.
There you go.
Dope show, Rios, man. Dope stream.
Thank you,
man.
Thank you. Have a good one. Blessings to you and your family, man.
You too, G. One.
All right, man. That is the AM Wake Up Show, Coffee with Rios. We were supposed to do a list. Like the show always goes where it goes. I'm supposed to be on point with. I was going to write down a list of what we're supposed to do for like the apocalypse and what you guys have, the notes and whatever. But if we didn't go there, we went somewhere else. I apologize for that. But it was a great show. It was talked about a lot of things that I needed to hear, and talked to a lot of you about things you needed to hear. We're just in here going with the flow, man, with the energy. Shout out to all of y'all, man. It's all love all the time. Go out there and be a blessing for somebody else, because every single one of us here, watching here in the chat, are capable of being a blessing in somebody else's life. So I'm just like so thankful for the super chats, so thankful for the impact you guys are making, the conversation you guys are making in the chat. Yes, it's a small channel, but we got big support from big supporters like y'all. Like, it's not a small channel because of y'all. Like, none of us are small. We are individuals, but we come together, man. We are dope as hell. So I just want to say thank you guys. I'm going to be back up in here later. My wife keeps poking her head in. She called me, so I know she got something to tell me, but I am going to be back up in here. Thank you, Andre, man, for the super chats. I'm going to read all the super chats real quick. And I got a good amount of super chats today. That's fucking like the appreciation is overwhelming sometimes. Like, damn, thank you guys. Like, you guys make it all worth it, and you guys are supporting me. Like, sometimes you think you're not worthy, and then you guys just remind us, like, Nah, man, we appreciate you. Okay, so Brother Jumbie, what if I told you a German dude with a mustache found out about this in the 40s and tried to counter and stop them, and the U.S. and the Crown got him out of there and rewrote history as the heroes? Boom. Alberto, Los DLT, Super Chat. At this point, don't believe nothing you hear and nothing you see. Nothing. This is basically, it used to be like believe half of what you hear. No, believe half of what you see and nothing you hear. Cristiano Carranzo, my guy, shout out to you, man. Amen, brother Rios and Jumbie, blessed Friday. Thank you, thank you. Andre K7, $100 super chat. Appreciate all you do, Rios. Love these types of talks that get you thinking of something bigger than the everyday bullshit we all got to go through in life. Hey, man, thank you. These are therapeutic for me as well. Like being able to be in here and chop it up with my people is super therapeutic. Oh, shoot. Alberto, Los DLT, another super chat. All we need is the TF pack, the TF kit to survive the end of the world, man. We're going to put together a TF kit. I'm going to be back in here and I'm going to talk about the kits that we need and the stuff that we need, the stuff that I have, the stuff that I need to get. We're going to build a list of what to do, what we have, and what we need still to acquire. Much respect and love to all of y'all out there, man. I'm going to be back in here. I'm not sure exactly what time, but just be on the lookout. I'm going to be back up in here. If we're going to go crazy, you know it's going to go to Kick. We're going to be on Kick if we're going crazy. Watching shit. Oh, man, yesterday's episode was amazing as well. But it's all love, man. Blessings to all of you guys. You guys go be great. And hopefully I'll see you guys back in here maybe about in 2 to 3 hours or less or more. But I'm going to be back up in here. Shout out to y'all, man. God is good all the time.
Ghetto cafe in the building, steam rising from the stove. We switching lanes, they don't want it, they just pose for the smoke. If it's about that coffee, we got the roast and the toast. Shots fired from the French press, let it drip slow and boast. Mornings on the west, sun low, but the grind stay woke. Ghetto cafe, steam in the breeze. Cruising through dreams with a mug and some peace. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. No drama, just cream, we deliver with ease. On the coast where the light never leaves. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow. Coffee with Rios, pour it up slow. Steam in the city while the sun lay low. Coffee with Rios, starting the show. Sip real smooth, let the wisdom flow.